The Enforcement of Security Interest and Recovery of Debts Laws and Miscellaneous Provisions Amendment Bill 2016. Sri Arun Jaitley to move. Arun Jaitley move.
Sir, I rise to move that a bill to further amend the Securitization and Reconstruction of Financial Assets and Enforcement of Security Interest Act 2002 and the Recovery of Debts Due to Banks and Financial Institutions, the Indian Stamp Act 1899 and the Depositories Act 1996, and for matters connected therewith or incidental thereto as passed by the Lok Sabha be taken into consideration.
Okay, motion moved. Now discussion. Dr. T. Subbarami Reddy.
Sir, I rise to speak on enforcement of security interest and recovery of debts law and miscellaneous provisions amendment bill 2016, which was passed by Lok Sabha on 1st August 2016. Earlier, it was referred to the joint committee of both houses for examination, and committee had submitted its report by July 2016. I am very happy to welcome this bill. Bill aims to strengthen the hands of the banks and financial institutions to recover their money from the debtors whom they have given loans, making the banks strong and also banks taking the initiative to facilitate the new investments which will ultimately lead to the higher economic growth. We appreciate. Sir, before that, I would like to say, today the banking industry is a very difficult position. Stress assets amount to 8 lakhs crores. 5.6% is GDP actually. So recovery of the debts due to Banks and Financial Institutions Act was passed in 93, and through this act, debt recovery tribunals were set up for recovery of loans. But you should be aware about 70,000 cases are pending in the debt recovery tribunals. Banks are in very bad shape, are in the dire need of capital infusion of the government. So here I would like to draw the Sir, I draw the attention of the Honourable Finance Minister. Banks are in the bad shape and are in dire need of capital infusion from the government. No doubt recently government has infused some capital that is not sufficient actually. Today, we always every day see government is very much interested in economic growth, Indian industry growth. For this, banks should be strong and sound and stable and should be able to give actual financing for new industries. But since they're all having high NPS, they need more capital. So I am now expect the government to give such an infusion of the capital that in future all banks become self-sufficient and strong and also play important role in building the Indian industry. I also very happy because of this bill, there will be exemption of stamp duty on loans assigned by banks and financial institutions to asset reconstruction companies. This is a very important point actually, because to make the bank's hand more strong and recover the assets and also the loans from the people, they must have the registration system. So that stamp duty is very costly. Therefore, I am very happy that you are amending to give stamp duties and exemption and no any charges. Amendment will also enable non-institutional investors to invest in security receipts by assets reconstruction companies. This also, I welcome, is a very good point. About those who are issuing debentures, even the government issue debentures, trustees will also have same right as security creditors. This is also a very good point, sir. Then also, there are other 5 changes in the DRT Act. The Surface Section 13 went for serious changes. First, I am very happy to see that they are having to enforce security interest for NPA without intervention of tribunals. If an asset was declared as non-performing asset, they could directly go for surface to the Assets Reconstruction Company. And also, the amendment of the Indian Stamp Act and amendment of Depositors Act 96 will help the banks and financial institutions to recover the bank loans faster. The banks have failed to take notice of early signs of stress and the loans disbursed by them. See, here I would like to say, sir, the banks also have to play a very important role. Today, what's happening? The banks must take, sir, I draw the attention of the Honourable Finance Minister, banks must take initiative on the stress loans to guide them toward one-time settlement and to give them actually. See, these test loans, what I would like to say, one is, due to circumstances, there are willful defaulters, there are defaulters because of the circumstances. For instance, there are some industries like steel, sugar, cement, and textiles. So many industries are temporarily sick now. Therefore, infrastructure also today is in bad shape. All these people are in bad shape, and because of this, NPAs are growing up. So it is the banks also should come forward to see that they guide already these borrowers and see that they do it quick settlement and make that NPA go down. The amendment also empowers Reserve Bank of India to regulate the ARCS to carry out audit and inspection of assets reconstruction companies, impose penalty. This is also very good actually. I appreciate that actually Reserve Bank has been empowered now to have control on the ARCS. The RBI is the regulator according to the amendment. So I would like to know, the lender used to take loans from different banks showing the same property. That's why the central registration has been created, and now to prevent this multiple loan from different banks on the same immovable property, the central electronic registration has been set up, which really I welcome it. See, in the whole bill, sir, there are 4 acts which are being amended. The SURFACE Act is amended. Recovery debts due to banks and financial institutions has to be amended. Indian Stamps Act has been amended. So here I want to know, in the Indian Stamps Act, the clarity should be there. Actually, for registration of the stamps, in this borrower and also the banker, both must agree. So there is no clarity whether straightaway the banks can register the assets or both must do. I want this clarification. The Deposits Act has to be amended. Then the amendments made in the legislation deal following. One is expeditious disposal of all applications. It is an important change that there can be electronic filing of applications. Priority of secured creditor is enforcing through the DRT amendment. Debenture trustee will be treated as a financial institution, empowering central government to provide for uniform rules for conduct of proceedings of the DRTS. Sir, there were a number of changes in the DRT Act. Now, the SURFACE Act 13 is amended to enforce security interests for NPAs without intervention of tribunals. That's a very good point. We welcome and support it. I would also like to suggest, see now, one more important. Entire nation wants economic growth. If industrial growth is there, there won't be frustration among the youth, there will be employment potentiality will come. For that, banks and financial institutions have to play a very important role. So as on today, because the banks are in a difficult stage, they're having NPAs 8 lakhs crores, they are actually in a very, very embarrassing stage. They're not coming forward to give loans even for genuine entrepreneurs also. So therefore, it is the duty of the government, and also I want the clarification from Honorable Finance Minister while giving reply, what efforts they are making to make strengthen of the banks. On one side, through this bill, they are giving the strength to the bank to actually recover all the debts from the debtors. Besides that, to grow the industry, how we are going to give the confidence among the banks, and are going to enable them to give them more loans to new genuine enterprises. And also another most important is, today, there is everybody feels so much NPA, so much actual banks in bad shape. But this is also, you have to see 2 parts. NPAs have become because of some defaulters who are willful. NPAs have become because some industries, as I told already, become sick temporarily. Defaults have become sometimes because of the industry become permanently sick. So which have become temporarily sick, which they are going to recover in the future, the government should have a mechanism to see that the banks, institutions should be properly guided and directed to see that they also give a helping hand for the people who are temporarily sick, and they must actually segregate such NPAs instead of making everything NPAs together and say banks in bad shape. In the new amendment, there will be a registration of creation, modification, satisfaction of any security interest over any property of the borrower by all secured creditors, and provision of integration of security system. So everything will be registered together in one register so that the bank at the push of button, authority will know where they are, what are their actually properties which they have been given to bank. This is really a wonderful actually amendment. We welcome it. It's going to really give help to the industry. Then, sir, I also would like to say to create central database on security interest over the properties of the borrowers. This is also very good. Then the Reserve Bank of India is going to have the control on the ARCs, which I already told. There will be the exemption of stamp duty of loans, which is also very important and very helpful. Then one more thing I want to draw the attention of the Honorable Finance Minister. Very important is, today infrastructure is in a very bad shape. So there is always Parliament Standing Committee have given a suggestion to develop vibrant bond market. Is it possible to have the vibrant bond market and strengthen the hands of the in the infrastructure, which will help? So of course, this is not easy. People also must accept, public must accept to invest in this market. But still, I will actually drawing attention. And also, the Parliament Finance Standing Committee said that banks are not coming forward to guide the people, borrowers, in time and make them to set right. So I also draw the attention that banks should be directed to be more alert and to take more action to guide the borrowers who are actually in the stress stage. Even though I welcome the bill, one more thing here, sir, the cases would be disposed of by tribunal 60 days. As on today, that tribunal is given 6 months' time, but they're taking years together, 3 years, 4 years, because of adjournments, because of so much things. So new act, now you are saying 60 days. So I want to say, beyond 60 days, if they go to again High Court or Supreme Court, the government should make an effort to make Supreme Court, High Court to give priority in actually listing these banks' requests where they have to collect the money from the borrowers. 5 minutes, 3 minutes.
You have 2 more speakers from your party.
Now, sir, another challenge between the government is industrial development and recovery of loans. I want to draw the attention of the Honorable Finance Minister. Now we have a challenge before you, industrial development one side, recovery of loans other side. So this is a very big important challenge. So how we are planning the government, industrial development, what efforts we are going to make, and our recovery of loans, of course, the bill is going to help. So, sir, in conclusion, I welcome the amendments, I welcome the bill, and Honorable Finance Minister, cool, you speak for any amount of time, you smile, and I don't know whether you will respond to all our questions also. I don't think. You will just listen and then, you know, but I'm drawing your attention. You must, this is a challenge for you, sir, that with all your skill and dynamism and smart and intelligence and your brilliancy, you must take as a challenge how the economy grows, how the industry grows, how the banks recover the loans. Both are going together. No, recovering bad loans, of course, you are giving a teeth to the actually banks and giving a more opportunity, various amendments, which is going to be very good. Besides that, you must see that banks are tutored, again I'm repeating, and informed them that they must not be simply worried and tension and afraid to give any participation of any new industry. They must participate, it is genuine, and they must make an effort to study whether the industry is genuine or not, then also come forward to give them loans. That government also must infuse more, I'm again repeating, you have already recently infused some capital, that is not sufficient, still banks are struggling, so you must infuse more capital and make banks are the only government banks, only public sector banks, so even if you infuse capital, it's your money only, is going to help you. So once again, Lokotrayana Sanghatnaha Nirupamaha Sanniveswa Nadvitiya Nirupamaha. That is, the economy should be spectacular, phenomenal, matchless, unparalleled Indian economy. Happy to all of you.
Thank you.